to show something fancy today. It's called the reverse omoplata. Now this is a really effective omoplata from the crucifix position. That's where I set it up usually. It can also be done from the turtle position, but we're going to go from the crucifix. And the way we're going to set it up, go ahead and go on your hands and knees. The turtle position here, this is the easiest way to get the crucifix. So there's a couple ways to set it up. You can do the reverse omoplata from here, but we're going to set it up from the crucifix. So turn a little. So we're here in this position. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to control his wrist. Now I grab his wrist from the inside, not like this. Because if you go like this, he can tuck his arm against his chest and you're not going to be able to pull his arm back out. So it's very important that you put your hand on the inside like this. That way if he does try and tuck his arm in, you're going to be able to pull it back out with better leverage. Okay? Because it'll torque his shoulder and allow you to actually extend his arm. Whereas if you grip like this, it's pulling against his whole ability to crunch his arm in, which is difficult to break. So hand turns, we pull out. I'm going to pull it, I'm going to rest it in between my legs. My other hand is just controlling his wrist here. Now, my free leg, the right leg over the top, is just going to hook, just like this. Okay? Once I hook, we can do the reverse omoplata from here, but it can be a little trickier. So we're going to do it the easy way. Now, once I have his arm hooked here, I'm sort of in a crucifix position. You'll notice my hands are in a seatbelt position around his chest. My right hand is free. The left hand is gripping. The reason for this is I want to be able to grab his sleeve with this free hand. So I have a seatbelt, but I'm also grabbing his sleeve. Now this is very important because if you just grab like here, when I go for the actual roll through, he may be able to free himself if he has his arm free. So I'm going to hook this arm, I can grab the wrist or I can grab the sleeve. Now I'm going to walk my feet up and drive him over, like so. Okay? Now, we're in the crucifix position. Now it's important that I maintain this grip for as long as possible because if you just hold here, he may be able to start reaching and connect his hands together. And this can make it a little more difficult to finish the move. So I like to control his wrist as well, from the sleeve or like so, here with your hands on his wrist to keep everything tight. Now, I had this hook here the whole time, but now I'm going to switch it. I bring my other leg over the top, okay? Now be careful when you do this that you don't open your legs and let him bring his arm free before you can get the hook. Because now we have to fight our way back to get the grip again. It can be difficult. It's still possible, but it's easier if you just connect your feet. Bring them all the way over. Okay? So here, you can cross your legs first, or you can just bring both your feet over. Okay? So this hook, this way. Now, I'm controlling his arm at his wrist. Okay? See how I tuck my heel against his wrist? If you just hold it right here, this is fine. But like I said, we're trying to avoid him being able to grab his hands together. So to do that, I want his arm as extended as possible. So I use my ankle on his wrist. Here. Now, once I've controlled him from this position, now is where I can start to set up the reverse omoplata. Now, we're holding this wrist to stop him from sitting up and turning in. So this is the most important part. I'm going to let go of everything, but I have to do it in a very specific way. And that way is I bring his hand out and I immediately bring it over the top of his arm. This is slowing him down from being able to turn into me because if I just let go and try and sit up, he can turn into me as well. So, here, I bring the arm out, this Kimura grip position, I bring it over the top. From here, my free leg is going to hook his leg. Now, from this position, because I made this hook, he can't turn into me. Try and turn into me, Pete? This hook is very important. From here, I sit up and I grab his pants. I can release the hook. My ankle is still on his wrist. And this hand that was on the pants is now going to go to the mat. And my free hand is going to replace underneath his knee. From here, I just do the technical get up. I plant my foot, I lift my hips, and I bring my leg back. So you can see it's a shoulder lock, just like an omoplata, but it's from the reverse position. Here. Okay, one more time. If you're already familiar with your crucifix, this is an easy thing you can add to your game. If you don't crucifix, it's very important you get comfortable with this position. Gripping, grabbing inside on the wrist, pulling it, stepping over. I connect and grab his wrist. Seatbelt, grab the wrist. I walk my feet up and I push myself over. Now we switch our positioning on his arm to the other leg. So my right leg is over, I switch to my left leg. I start to turn my body parallel to his. Extend my arm, bring it through. Start to sit out and hook his leg. When I do a sit up, grab the pants, reach with my right arm, the free hand goes to the mat, I like to push his elbow out. Instead of just sitting here, this will help me get a little more leverage as I try and sit up. And I bring my hips back to torque his arm. Okay? So the full movement quickly looks like this. There it is. That's a reverse omoplata.